Tonya Harding, at her worst, somehow tugged at our hearts. She was America's wayward child at the Olympics, yet part of us still rooted for her to come up with a surprise ending. Tonight, the surprise is in the pages of Penthouse Magazine and on a home movie she probably wants to forget. It is a scene from the latest chapter of the Tonya Harding saga. The disgraced Olympic skating star taking her first tentative steps on the road to a career in Hollywood. But her acting debut in a low-budget production called Breakaway is only one new glimpse we're getting of Tonya this week.
That's it.
Nice.
This is the other, private scenes from her marriage to Jeff Gillooly, her ex-husband, now in jail for the attack on Tonya's skating rival, Nancy Kerrigan, a man who allegedly abused Tonya during their marriage, who sold Penthouse Magazine the rights to the intimate home videos of their honeymoon, pictures that weren't meant for stores.
Well done.
Can't see the picture.
Tonya Harding and her agents say her role in the legitimate movie Breakaway is a dream come true. The other, they say, is a shameful nightmare, perpetrated without her knowledge and without her permission.
She was never satisfied. I just think you're way wrong. If you don't,
Tonya Harding, the hardscrabble good old girl who beat the odds and rose to the top of the elite world of figure skating. But the dream came to an end when her rival Nancy Kerrigan was clubbed on the knee at a competition. Tonya's ex-husband, her bodyguard, and 2 hitmen were sent to jail for the attack. Tonya admitted she helped in the cover-up. She got probation and was banned from skating for life.
I would like to start by once again publicly apologizing to Nancy Kerrigan.
Just weeks ago, as the last of the conspirators were sentenced, it seemed the 3-ring Harding circus was folding its tent. First, the bodyguard.
Throughout these entire judicial proceedings, I have noticed of how all of the participants involved in this case have received a disparity of treatment.
And then it was Jeff Gillooly's turn. Without his little moustache, he did not seem the same whining villain the world had come to know. But when he had a chance to speak, Gillooly too went kicking and crying into the night.
I have a 1-year-old nephew that will not know who I am when I am released.
And somehow we had to know that Tonya would not go quietly into oblivion. First, there was the wrestling appearance, and a mention by Esquire magazine as a beloved woman. And now, Breakaway. Tonya plays a waitress who finds $1 million of mob money and runs off to Tahiti. And, as she proved when she played dumb throughout the investigation of the Kerrigan attack, Tonya has turned out to be a passable actress.
She's novice as an actress, but as an athlete actress, you're not going to find better. I mean, and that's what this was. It was an action-adventure movie. And she really knew how to play the action. When it came to the fight scenes and everything, that was a natural for her because she's a real good athlete. The acting, she's new at it, you know. But she has a lot of potential of being good.
Hollywood tough guy Krista Rose stars in Breakaway. He co-starred in Tonya's first love scene.
I got to know Tonya to some degree on a personal level. It was limited. We only had a few days to shoot. And we basically talked about the character. We talked a little bit about her personal life and what she's gone through, she really wants to talk about it too. It seems like she confided in me, and she really wanted to express what she had gone through. And like I say, as a young lady, she'd been to hell and back.
Tonya did play the star on the set, surrounded by an entourage that included beefy bodyguards who came close to roughing up a cameraman from Entertainment Tonight. Her select group also included her new boyfriend.
I thought he was a bit overprotective of her, and but I got to understand why, because of the fact that these different stations and shows supposedly said bad things about her, so he was becoming more protective of her. She said that he really loved her, she loved him, and she felt safe with him.
But then, as if Tonya couldn't buy a break, here come these lost scenes from her honeymoon on the pages of Penthouse Magazine, and beginning Monday, on sale in a half-hour videotape. But oddly, this performance by Tonya may be the turning point in public opinion. For while millions will gawk at her on the pages of Penthouse and on VCR screens, public distaste for this down-home scandal queen may now be outweighed by sympathy. Well, with us now is the man who published those photographs and who is putting out the video. He's the editor of Penthouse, Bob Guccione. Bob, let's get this absolutely straight. Did Tonya know you were putting out those photos? Has she benefited? Did she give her permission?
I don't think she knew about it. I think she probably knows about it now. But we bought the video through a third party. Where that third party got it, I'm not sure. But we looked at it very carefully, and we looked at it from the legal point of view to determine whether or not we really had permission to publish it, and we did.
Hang on a second. Did you deal at all with Jeff Gillooly, her ex-husband?
No. We dealt with... I don't know. I keep hearing that Jeff Gillooly had something to do with the sale of the pictures. I can't believe that, because if you see the video, I can't imagine how he or Tonya could be involved in the selling of it. The person that we bought it from satisfied us as to his legal right to the video.
Bob, who owns the copyright then of this video?
Well, we own it now. We now own all rights to it. That's why we're also offering the video for sale. Once you look at the magazine, there's an ad in the magazine that shows you what 800 number to call to get a copy of the full, unexpurgated, unedited copy of the video.
Well, we'll get on to the video in just a second, Bob, but leaving the the legalities aside, let's get on to the personal feelings that Tonya Harding might have. This, a private video taken, we understand, on what, her honeymoon night. As you say, she didn't give her permission for it. Let's not be judgmental about what people do in their bedroom. They might make home videos, they can do what they like, but this was never destined for sale. How do you think she feels about this?
I really can't comment on that. I'm sure that she's not very happy about it, but to the extent that she's unhappy, or to the extent that she has some knowledge of this, I can't comment.
Would you have any conscience at all about publishing photographs like this?
Under ordinary circumstances, perhaps. But this video was openly offered for sale, and if I didn't take it and publish it, someone else would have.
No, Hugh Hefner, your great rival on Playboy, allegedly, he turned it down. He took a high moral stance. You didn't.
He said the same thing about Vanessa Williams. The fact that he took a high moral stand was because he doesn't have the tape and I do. And I have it because I could afford it. I don't think he could.
So this whole thing just obviously boils down to money, boils down to publicity, how much money you're going to get back in return, and really you don't have a conscience.
Right. It's a totally commercial undertaking. As I said, someone was going to publish it, so it might as well be us. It's what the public wants. You know, the American public is very orientated to scandal. It's important to the success even of the individuals
Bob,
who are involved in the scandal.
Let's not just dismiss this readily. We're talking about a girl's life here, a girl who was married, and in that marriage, we understand, had some sort of spousal abuse. She's already been a victim. Aren't you turning her into a victim yet again? Aren't you giving this woman more cause to have greater pain? Is she not being victimized again by you?
Well, where was she victimized in the first instance? She, on the other hand, victimized someone else. She victimized Nancy Kerrigan. It's not that she was a victim. you know, she made a mistake, and she, to some extent, perhaps not to the fullest extent, paid for her crime.
Bob,
She
her
paid
whole life has been a
$100,000.
victim. You're making her a victim again.
Well, I don't agree with that. I don't think that her life is a you know, that she has been victimized elsewhere in her life. She came from perhaps humble beginnings, but she did very well for herself, and she will continue to do well for herself. The fact that this country loves a scandal and loves notoriety is borne out by the fact that she now has 2 film contracts as a result of dragging the American Olympic team into disrepute.
Well, I don't agree with what all you're saying, Bob, and she's still got to open the pages of Penthouse and see her scenes of lovemaking in that book, and so will millions of others. But we'll talk about that further when we come back, right after this.